Hey everybody, it's Fox with FoxeoGames, and this is a Fox First Scent of Horizon Zero Dawn, the PlayStation 4 exclusive. Well, let me say this, guys. I have played this game so much that I've actually started playing in a single setting with a fully charged DualShock 4 controller and brought that controller all the way to a dead battery and had to plug it in, and I still kept playing. I've really enjoyed my time with this game so far. I've got probably somewhere around 20-25 hours into the game. Been spending a lot of time just running around, having fun, not even particularly doing anything in the game other than just like collecting stuff and fighting these robotic creatures in the game, which are made to look like realistic either dinosaurs or real-life modern animals. You know, some of them might look like a sort of crocodile. Another one might look like a raptor or something of that sort. And let me just say that I love the aesthetic of the game. It may not seem realistic in any way, shape, or form, but that's fine because video games aren't meant to be realistic. Am I right? I mean, you've got a health bar. You eat berries to regain health. I mean, you can get slammed to the ground by a giant sword in some games and still survive. Just drink a red potion for health. It's not realistic, and I'm fine with that. If you can get over that little bit of a believability hurdle there, suspension of disbelief, this game is really fun. Now, it will remind you a ton of the Far Cry series, particularly Far Cry 3 and up. I don't know how similar it is to Far Cry Primal because I haven't had a chance to play that game yet, but one of my biggest complaints with Far Cry was the setting, the characters, and the story. Didn't interest me at all. In this case, this is basically Far Cry with the setting, characters, and story fixed for me. I enjoy this a lot more. I don't absolutely love all the characters. The main character, Aloy, I mean, she's neither here nor there for me. She's just sort of blah. But I like the story in this game a lot better. I'm really curious to find out all the details about how this world came to be and why there are robotic animals wandering around. And of course, the characters in the game wonder this as well. But the game is so similar to Far Cry that it's impossible not to make the comparisons. You craft bags from stuff you get from the creatures, including the animals. You craft gear. In addition to that, you craft potions and healing items and things of that sort. You climb up certain, I won't say what they are because it's a bit of a spoiler, but you climb up certain objects to unveil larger portions of the map. As you explore the map, it becomes accessible or unveiled to you so that you can see it. It'll show you where certain kinds of creatures are on the map. Even the map and the way it's set up looks like Far Cry. There are bandit camps to clear out, and then the so-called good guys come in. It's just remarkable how much this really does borrow the Far Cry template. But again, this is a perfect example, just like Darksiders, of a game not being novel. Okay, it's not doing anything necessarily brand new, but it's doing something and it's fun. And that to me is all that matters. I don't need a game to be brand new. I don't need it to be unique. I don't need it to do something different from everything else. I just need it to be fun. And Horizon Zero Dawn is fun. Biggest complaint I have so far, which I will mention in my review, of course, is that number one, it's not on PC. But I know it's a stupid complaint. I really shouldn't be complaining about that because it's wishful thinking. Most exclusives stay exclusives. I mean, unless they're timed exclusive. But it is what it is. So, really wish it was on PC. But the main reason I mention that is not just because I'm a PC gamer at heart and I want to brag about the PC being better. Okay, guys, relax. Anyway, it's not just that. But it's my biggest complaint with the game. Trying to aim and shoot these arrows and all these other weapons with an analog stick is just not ideal for me. I miss way too often that way. I would be so much more accurate if I could play this game with an accurate mouse and keyboard. Now, I know there are some like mouse keyboard peripherals you can get for the consoles, but believe me, I've looked at the reviews. They're really... all they do is emulate mouse and keyboard and then translate it for the console, and it's not ideal at all. It really doesn't get the job done right. This is a cauldron in the game. This is basically where you get to go in and kind of see a glimpse at the old world. Now, you may not notice it at first. It doesn't look like it. This is a minor spoiler, but you discover this very early on in the game. This is a sort of post-apocalyptic game. It doesn't look like that at all at first. But basically, you're living in a sort of tribal world now. You know, you've got these tribal communities. They use bows and arrows and things of that sort. Have big bonfires where they cook meat, open bonfires and all that. Sort of reminds you of caveman times, something like that. But at the same time, there are these remnants of the past, these robotic animal creatures. And you don't get all the explanation early on. In fact, I don't have most of the explanation even, 20 some hours into the game. So I'm really excited to figure that out. So I really care about what happens in the story. Not the individual side quests, those are so-so. the gathering and all that stuff, it's fun. Sometimes it can be frustrating when you're running out of something. You just got to run around and gather it. But it is what it is. Controls could use a little bit of work, in my opinion. It's not perfect, but you know, it's the DualShock 4. It's a great controller. I'm just not a big fan of the analog stick versus mouse and keyboard. But Horizon Zero Dawn for me is definitely going to be on my probably top 5 games of the year. Just one I'm really enjoying and one I definitely recommend you check out. I hope you're waiting for my review because it will be out as soon as possible. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames, and I'll see you guys next time.